Greetings, my fellow city planners. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Ratopia, Episode 3, Into the Sky. Do I have enough fabric for the row bed? Oh, certainly. I am sure I do. Plop one up there. Thanks for the reminder. I'm not wounded enough that it would be bad if I didn't have one just yet. But when you die, unless you have a specific piece of clothing that allows you to have like a... There are some equipment that you can wear to give you like revives, but unless you have that stuff, dead is dead. So, very good to stay alive. The other thing that we could do for now is to get a gathering camp, and gathering camps can automatically gather wheat, grass, flowers, things like that. So it's good to have a gatherer, and I'll put a gatherer up there for now. Everything is in a very temporary location at the moment. And then once we have more work and infrastructure, we can lay it out where it's nice. So now that we have a small garden, I'm planning for the westmost of the base to be maybe here. Because that lines up with the water... Actually, no... Maybe a little bit further out. I'm going to stick a wooden door here. So wooden doors is a weak wall door blocker. You can set up access for wooden doors where like certain citizens can't go through wooden doors. Train access can be useful when you want to keep the poors out of the rich neighborhood. I'm kidding. But yes, you actually can do that. But it also can stop your people from going places you don't want them to go. Like if you have a dangerous section of the underground, which is full of threats, you can keep your citizens from going through danger doors. So over here, I'm going to build a Rhadamant registry. And then also, I'm going to build the silviculture post. But that requires 2 more flower petals. And then it's going to look something like this. Where this is the westmost extent. So let's go get the flower petals for the post. When does tax your money start going down? Once I hit about 5k, I'll worry about taxes. Or like 10 Radizans. The game, I think, warns you at like 4k. 2 anarchists. Alright, pacifist, another anarchist. Wow. Y'all just need to get civilized. So here's the Rhadamant registry. It allows you to group your citizens together into groups. For administration, management, tax reasons. So you can set up like a troop where I can put a specific number of my citizens in a group. And then in that group, I can give them permissions to go through doors, right? Or I can say, hey, this door is only going to let in the middle and above, or only the high and above, or only a specific group, or whatever. There's a bunch of different reasons to do things like that. And then I am going to want to mine that out because they can't path back. Oh god, they're being... Okay, let's go unstrand them. Because I also don't want that to be a bridge for enemies to come, skipping the gate. I'm coming, guys. There you go. Alright, we have another threat event. And I'm just going to quickly heal up on the royal bed. Time does accelerate when you're on the royal bed, as you can tell. So if there's like large infrastructure projects that you just don't want to lift a finger for, you can always use the royal bed as well. So the reason why I set up, let's get the silviculture post. Boom. And then out here, we're going to get these small gardens. Plants do not require line of sight to the sun. So you can have subterranean farming. It's no problem. Wild crops don't need to be watered. Farmed crops do. That's another important distinction. And then I'm going to need to go get some more mud for more planters. So this is the easy way to get wheat, which only works in kinder seasons. But not in the winter. And also, I don't have enough people to really staff it, so I'm probably going to wait on that as well. Until we get Rhadamants that I actually like. Once you have the planter, the small garden here, you can pick what you want to put in it. So we can cultivate wild wheat, grass, flowers, or mushrooms. So I'm going to say wild wheat. And the person that works at the silviculture post will water the wheat and add its growth speed. And the other way to do it is to set up a grain farm. So grain farms require a lot of water to be able to grow wheat, but they do work year-round. So the cultivation takes time and water, whereas the gardens just take time. But they don't yield nearly as much in terms of volume. All right, fingers crossed that we don't get some losers. Another anarchist and a crier who's quiet. I could take the crier who's quiet. What about this? Hypertension? No, thanks. Yeah. All right, Owen. Welcome to the Rat Kingdom. And we just hit Prosperity 1. Or 2, technically. We leveled up. Do you have finite water? Yes and no. There's a ways to collect rain in order to get a lot more water. So now that we are growing and have about 5k money, it is time for taxes, sadly. So I am going to put a tax worker in. I will put Ink. No, Ink has movement speed. I'll put the new guy, who is the crier, as our taxman. And then, with him calculating taxes, let's set up some tax codes. So I'm going to legislate. And I'm not going to read the tutorial, I'll explain it better. So there's different types of laws. There's tax laws, commercial laws, welfare laws, and labor laws. So I'm going to set up the first tax law, which is wealth tax. So it's a civil tax every day for all classes. And I am just going to take 20% of everybody's wealth every day. Apply. Then I'm going to set up a welfare tax. It's going to be a periodic subsidy every day. And I am going to subsidize 150 gold to everyone who has a wealth of 150 or less. Because if they get too poor, they won't be able to afford food, for instance. So I need to make sure that everybody has at least a little bit of spending cash, or it's a problem. So we have a wealth tax and a welfare tax. So now with that, the taxes that we have set up are for everybody. Nobody avoids these taxes. And because I have the rat shrine, let me show you the rat shrine. I hadn't showed you before. Oh, and also the giveaway is Rylus. So the rat shrine, you can have one shrine active at a time. Its passive is it automatically collects unpaid taxes from Rhadamants that I walk past, which is freaking awesome because trying to collect taxes manually is just like, boom, it sucks. The tax collector, what they're doing is they're calculating the taxes. They're not actually collecting taxes. So the rat shrine is just, you need one. And the active skill is that I throw money around and make people happy. Which I can hold T. So I'm going to activate the rat shrine. So now, anytime I walk by anyone, once the taxman has calculated taxes, I don't think he has yet, I will start collecting them automatically from the Radizans I walk past. Oh, it's an invasion. So we're being invaded 3 different directions. Got it. Got my sword at the ready. I'm going to assume that the one up north is going to be taken care of automatically by my guards. So I'll get the other 2 tunnels. Guard. Oh, Wishbringer took this one on. Oh well. There is a way to automatically command them later on. Also, things that get broken can be repaired for free. It doesn't cost money. Oops, and we accidentally killed a bunny in the process. Sorry, bun. You will be meat, I guess. Oh, and the Rylus. Let's get you named. All right, instead of draining that out manually... Oh, but here we go. We have wild wheat that is now growing. So planted without being tended, it grows a little slower, but as soon as it's tended, it gets a boost. Royalist, who's fragile, that's fine. You wouldn't want a militarist who's fragile, but everything else is fine. So, who is the fast mover? Ink. I'm going to have you as a collector of wild wheat and wild grass and wild flowers. And Ink, you're going to be put here in this bed. Rylus, let's put you in the tax bed. And then the new one, we'll take the empty bed over here. Build some extra beds. Also running out of grass. Which I'm going to want some for... making sure that we have what I need for the... well. Now, there's 2 ways to make a well. How should I make a well? And I'll explain the 2 options. Oh, I just misclicked. There's the easy way, which is a sky well, and the harder way, which is the step well. So a sky well is going to look something like this, where we funnel water into a central point from a floating object in the sky, and then it gets funneled down as rainwater and collected by our water collector. And a step well is the same deal, but it's underground. It's not floating, but underneath. So the sky well will allow our crops to have sunlight. Our step well will look more realistic, but it will have subterranean crops. And you guys can pick what I work on. Sky well or step well. And the other thing that goes really well hand in hand with wells... Oh, and now you can start to see the money collection. Me taxing everybody that owes me. Boom. Just by walking by them, because the shrine is active. So Skywell is probably a little bit easier. It just doesn't look sexy, but I can try to integrate it into the design so it's not like odd and floating. And once that pull wraps up, you guys will be able to... I'll start work on it. Come on, migrants. I'd love to have 10 pup. Cooperationist and frugal, that works for me. Pacifist and playful, I'll take... Now we have 10 citizens. Here they are. And the last one is going to be raffled right now. Let's get Wade a new bed. So if we want to eventually get meat as well, I'm going to unlock grass fields, as it's going to be required for us to have. And then I also want to unlock dew webs. So dew webs allows you to collect morning dew. It will require me to find spider webs, which are typically found underground, so I'll have to do some exploring for it, but it's also very useful in building a well. So we're going to build a sky well. Got it. So the plan I have for this is going to require a lot more leaves than we currently own, because I want to have everything above ground to be... how should I put it? To be sort of the crown, royal, and military. And then have most of the citizens in production be below ground, as it's just easier to expand below ground, and there's a lot of production in this game. There's a lot of facilities to manage. So I'm not going to make any more progress until I get more grass, because I'm totally out of grass at the moment. So what I want to do is I want to build this ladder way, way, way up, so that I have room to expand, and then at the top we'll have a sky well with everything. So, poke around looking for grass to collect. I can also send my unemployed out to collect it as well. Kessim, congrats! You're the new one. Another thing that I could do to preserve grass is to temporarily fire the weaver. Because they use grass to make fabric. So steel boot, you're getting the boot. Because we really need the grass for production. Can the herbalist even reach the flowers? That's a good question. I'll raise the sphere of influence for the gatherers to make sure that they have the range. $40, all the way up. there's also some new material over here. There's, oh, jungle trees. Nice. And there's, slate, which is kind of like a fancier building material to use. So this is going to be the outer wall of the home. I'm not going to go further west than this. Hang in there, fish. You're going to turn into oil or something. Migrants. Militant, extravagant, cooperation, quick. Oh, yeah, definitely you. So I have some renaming to do, don't I? And some beds to assign. It is summer. Seasons, as you can see, are 12 days. And we just... Oh, ow, that hurt. Thanks for dropping me. We just entered a new one. Ow. The shrine, because I removed the flooring, got deactivated. There we go. We'll have to do some of this management ourselves. But let's go bank the grass. Oh, I just saw Marauder get internal conflict. So internal conflict is kind of like turning towards crime to become a criminal. So with that in mind, I'm probably going to want to provide more services like a school soon, which means I need to get a masonry to make the stone brick. But also, I'm going to want a prison. Again, masonry. So let's get a mason up, as that's going to be increasingly more relevant, I think. Problem is, I don't really have a good place to put it, so I'm going to temporarily put it here, knowing that that's not a permanent spot. Oh man, I can't spell your name at all. There we go. 5th time's a charm. Hey Ben Deathheart, thank you for the resub. Alright, so what needs foundations? Oh. Wow, I'm surprised they haven't put the foundations back here. I'm just gonna do it so that stupid warnings go away. Oh, I had actually never told them to do that. That explains it. Neat and elitist? That's okay. Optimistic and quiet? Much better. Oh, I have some unnamed ones too, don't I? So, of the unnamed ones... Because I'm not keeping up with this raffle, like, at all. So we have Brad. Just Brad? Yeah, just Brad? No, Brad and Wade. Why isn't Wade showing up on this list of citizens? Ah, they're there. So, 2 for 1? I thought I was keeping up with it, but clearly not. So Brad and Wade going to be added. And let's get them beds. Finally got some good people that I like. So our population expanded quickly. More guards? I don't think I need more guards yet. Pretty easy to defend for now. But I will want them soon. You're not wrong about that. But anyone that is hired as a guard just does nothing but work at the guard station. Which is to say that they don't add to the productivity, and we're lacking productivity, I would say. So because I'm focusing on wheat and a stepwell, I don't want to tie up my manpower guarding if I don't need it. Because guards don't do anything except for fight, and the fights happen infrequently enough that it's not a big deal to just, you know, not have them all the time. So the purposes of all this, this ladder here is so that I can not be vertically restricted just yet. And then we'll build the farms way up there. Alright, so the first one is... Oh, Kessim, you already got one. Udagal. And then... Amris. And there is the mason. And we're going to want someone working in the masonry early on to start to get the resources we need for even more expansion projects. Quick, pessimistic, progressive, and foolish. No thanks. Currently, there is no one that is unnamed as far as I know. So in order to future-proof designs here, I'll plan for 2 more floors above ground, and then the top floor up here will be the farm floor. So what I need is more dirt going out this way, because you can see, if I go to capture mode, it will be more obvious. You can sort of see the tree here, and it's not gonna, I'm not easily gonna collect rain underneath this giant tree. So I need to build westward out to about this, or eastward rather, out to about this point to be able to collect rainwater. Because trying to remove this tree from blocking me is gonna be a lot of work. So the easier solution is just to go eastward where there's a clear path to sky. It's a huge tree. We're little rats, so the tree is enormous in relation. So interestingly, who's lost? You are stuck. They get stuck often. That one I think is going to free themselves. Yeah, I think they're already free. So this path out here is so that we can have wild crops to tend to and grow our own trees and stuff like that. And that will eventually be improved upon. It's not in the base, but trees don't need to be in the base, really. As they kind of get a, you know, they're not going to be destroyed by attackers. Quite like our beds and the like are. I need more dirt. We have a lot of projects requiring dirt. Let's check up on how much lumber and sticks I have, because I might have enough to be able to fire 30 and 30. Yeah, I don't. So right now what's happening is Dumbledore is probably working as a general laborer because his yeah, there he is. He's working as a general laborer because his production queues are full. So here he is just hauling dirt around and building because he doesn't have carpentry work to work on. I have not assigned anyone to masonry yet, but I don't need masons at the moment. I work on the priority up top, and none of that requires stone. Foolish, optimistic, big appetite, pacifist, hypertension, nope. One thing that would help is if I automated someone to remove the water here. I'm going to build a water tank there, just for someone to do the scooping for me. I'm too lazy. Alright, I'm healthy, so we're going to have another combat situation. So I am actually just going to spawn camp the first wave here, myself. And that will also allow you to see the traps in action. So Ink is not a fighter, so they should run. And there they go. And Wishbringer's coming in to fight. And you can see these traps are spike killing. We are also getting the first Spitter. Spitters are a lot stronger than the regular Infecteds. And then, as a result, these traps got damaged, so I'm going to queue up repair tasks for them. So we might get to a point where we need a second fighter now that Spitters are coming out. His Wish is, he's hurt. But no, that was managed that wasn't too rough. When your Radizens become wounded, they collapse on the ground, and then they require either someone that works at a hospital to save them, or for you to pick them up and put them in a bed and to rescue them that way. So let's see how far out I need to go. I would say the fourth block, 4 blocks over, is going to start collecting rain. So this is where rain collection starts. So then, just to make things look nice, I would like to start using stone in the stepwell. Is there fall damage? There is. Yes. The game won't let you to jump, as you can see. You can't walk off the ledge. But if I stood here, for instance, and then destroyed the block under me, I'd plummet to my death. The fall damage is actually pretty severe. It's like 10 points per over 2 drop or something like that. I don't know exactly. Progressive, clumsy, militarist, and quiet. Militarist and quiet works for me. We had just mentioned that we wanted another, excuse me, fighter. So this quiet militarist can become our next guard. And then if I want to build the next part in stone, we gotta unlock stone as a building material. Rock blocks. Oh, wooden blocks, and then rock blocks. We also might be getting to the point where we need a second toilet. And soon I should also consider building a school if the happiness sort of dips below 50. To make sure that people stay nice and happy. Good. The water tank is almost done. It will kill these fish. So what I want to do before that is I have, what, 1 fish in my... 0 fish? Wait, who's... Oh, someone's eating raw fish. Ah, it's fine. I was gonna kill these fish because a fishery requires fish. Most of the, like, ranching in this game requires you to have, like, 4 of the thing to be able to set up a ranch. But there's going to be other fish. It's not like I'm going to be out of fish. So the purpose of this water tank is so that someone down here, let's make it steel boot, can scoop all this water out so that I just have room to explore and expand. Because that water pond is in my way. Guero the Guard. I like it. That's a good ring. Long may you live and serve. Oh, your guard station's not built yet. Why do schools make people happy? Game mechanics. Also, I like learning, so, you know, that. So we sort of decided that we're going to start collecting water here. So this is going to be the start. Actually... No, cancel that. I'm going to have it be dirt a little bit further. And then, at this point, we'll start our step well. Or our sky well. And as you can see, water is starting to collect. So, I believe the way it works is water will collect on any man-made or manipulated surface, but not on natural tiles unchanged by you. So that way, the game doesn't become flooded full of water, because otherwise it would. And you are going to train to be guard. Cool. So because I built these dirt tiles, the water started collecting there. And there is a roof that you can build to prevent water from gathering if you don't want puddles. Progressive and intelligent, cooperative and inactive, we'll go with you. Elitist, progressive, intelligent, clumsy, yeah, we'll go with you. And I will say, we're probably at the point where hiring a mason makes sense. So this new guy is going to be our mason for now. And masons are going to make 30 stone bricks. It's a highly raffled game? Yes. We are also getting to a point where until we set up like a proper food supply, me admitting migrants is going to really slow down because of my inability to feed them at some point. Yeah, this game is definitely easier than Oxygen Not Included. It doesn't have like high levels of engineering. If you've ever played Craft the World, which is like this game but dwarf, it's way more similar to that. I don't really see our water scooper scooping much water. Let me, let's see. I will keep track of how much water they're scooping to make sure it's working as intended. So currently we have, oh no, we're up by 8. Okay, they have been scooping. And we produced our first stone brick. Nice. So the stone bricks were for a few different things. Schools require stone bricks, which is going to bring happiness and make people smarter, which is going to be useful. And then like a lot of other things like kilns require it and so on and so forth. Bat horn, you are the newest. Thank you for tuning in to Ratopia, which originally streamed live on Twitch, January 9th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, a link can be found in the description of the video or also at Rhadamant.com. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Radizens.